Hey, future massage therapist. Welcome to Nashville School of Massage Therapy, and I am absolutely thrilled that you've chosen to join us and embark on this incredible journey. My name is Secret Doss, and I have the distinct pleasure of being your program director. And as I like to say, the school's all-around chaos coordinator as well. My job is to keep things running smoothly and answer your questions and make sure your educational experience here is nothing short of amazing. So this little presentation is your friendly, no-stress guide to getting started. Think of it as our official handshake. It's a rundown of the essentials that you can hit the ground running. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a cup of coffee, or if you're like me, something with a little extra caffeine, and let's jump right in. So this first slide isn't just a logo and some words. This is the beginning of something truly special for you. You are officially part of the Nashville School of Massage Therapy family. And our mission, as you can see, is the heart of everything that we do. And that is to offer quality hands-on education to establish growth, both personally and professionally, enabling you to enrich the lives of others. And I love that part. Enrich the lives of others. That's what you're signing up for. And you're going to learn skills that not only transform bodies, but also uplift spirits. And how cool is that, right? So give yourself a mental high five for choosing this path. Now, you're not going to navigate this journey alone. We have an absolutely stellar team here to guide you, teach you, and maybe even share a few massage tips and tricks along the way. And these next couple of slides are going to introduce you to some key players. First up, we have Angela Poe, our institutional director. She is the visionary, the one who ensures that we are always providing top-notch education. And Angela was likely the first person you met on your journey, as she does all of our admissions and financial services. And Angela, something about her is that she loves a good email. She communicates spectacularly through frequent emails, and normally if you have a question, it's already been answered in one of the many emails that she has sent out. So always check there first. And then there's me. I'm Secret Doss, the program director, chaos coordinator, CE provider, and your friendly guide to all things program related. My contact info is right here on this page, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need some direction. I respond best to emails as well because frankly, that's where my brain lives. And if you ask me something in passing, please follow it up with an email so that I can make sure that I don't let you slip through the cracks. For those of you who are going to be joining our day class, you'll be spending a lot of time learning from Christy Dunbar and Ashley Simpson. They are fantastic instructors with a wealth of knowledge, ready to help you master those science and theory lessons, as well as hands-on techniques. And you'll also see me pop up and teach some classes as well. And to our dedicated night warriors, big shout out to you for usually working during the day and coming at night. You're going to be working closely with Brianna Holder and Kathy Cabral. They are brilliant, and they'll make sure your evening learning is just as impactful. And I have been known to also pop up bi-weekly to teach some subjects as well. So I highly recommend that you save these contacts and keep them somewhere handy because we're all here to support your success. So please use us as a resource. All right, so let's talk now about the sacred art of parking. It's usually pretty straightforward, but we have one golden rule to remember. As you can see on the slide, the big one is please do not park in any of the front reserved parking stalls before 5 p.m. Those spots are like the VIP lounge for certain folks that work in this building during the day. And trust me, nobody wants a little note on their windshield about the parking in the wrong spot or the lady next door to come over and yell at us in the admin office. But after 5 p.m., they're all yours. For general parking needs, you can park on the side closest to the road, facing Seaboard Lane in any open spot. There's also plenty of parking along the south side of the rear of the building. So make sure you're in a parking space when you do that because we have lots of big trucks that come in and out of the building. So just keep an eye out for those reserved signs and you'll be totally fine. And we want to make sure that you are focused on learning and not focused on where you left your car. Next, we're going to talk about attendance. It's super important, but we'll keep it kind of light. I think it's very important that you're building on this entire experience. So every minute counts. And we are a contact hour program, and all massage schools are. So the board really looks at how many hours were you in class, how many minutes were you in there. So our class times, our day class runs from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a well-deserved lunch break from 12:15 to 1. And our night class kicks off at 6 p.m. and wraps up about 9:45 p.m. So some things to keep in mind for attendance is that you must clock in before every single class and clock out only if you leave before you get dismissed. So you just clock in, and then if you've got to leave early, make sure you clock out. This isn't just for us, it's to ensure that you get all your credited hours. And any missed time that you have during your school career has to be made up within that same unit. So you'll be clocking in using an iPad. And so you probably want to make friends with it because you're going to be seeing it a lot. So if you forget to clock in, it counts as an absence. So you'll be responsible for making up that time. So just set a reminder if you need to, or tell your friends if they don't remember to clock in. There's a tab on the iPad for day class and a tab for night class. So make sure that you are clocking in for the right session. If you are going to be absent, please notify your instructor. Communication is like a good, smooth effleurage. You'll learn that in class. It keeps everything flowing. So we love good communication. And finally, just try your best to be on time and stay for the entire length of the class. Missing one class is like missing a whole week in a traditional college setting. So arriving late or leaving early can also be a distraction. So let's create kind of a harmonious environment for everyone and make sure we're in class and we're ready to go. Okay, so let's say you do miss a class. We'll talk about how you make up time. So we understand that life happens and sometimes you just can't be here. So we've got a system to help you get caught up. So first off, makeup time needs to be approved or a thumbs up from your instructor, and that depends on class availability. So if you're absent, you'll use what we call a pink slip. It's a little tiny pink piece of paper, and that is going to be your ticket for class. So you think of it as your official permission slip to get those hours back. Your instructor, after you have sat through the class, will sign it at the end, and then make sure that pink slip reflects the actual day that you're doing the makeup. Make sure the date is on there and the hours that you were in class. Once it is signed, you can pop that pink slip onto the institutional director's desk, that's Angela, before you head out for the day. Makeup time should try to be in a comparable class, so a lab class for a lab, a lecture for a lecture, and we want it to be productive learning because you missed something and you probably missed a lot. So you're going to try to catch that up in the same type of class. Just a friendly reminder, excessive absences can also impact your grades. We totally get, again, that emergencies pop up, but try your very best to be here. Your future clients will thank you for soaking up every minute of knowledge. Now, for the good stuff, what makes our classroom a truly great place to learn and grow and become incredible massage therapists? First thing, always be prepared when you come. Come ready to roll each day with your books and any personal sheets you need for lab. Be prepared is like having all of your massage tools ready to go. It makes for a very smooth session. Another thing is to make sure you're participating. This isn't a lecture hall where you'll just sit and listen all day. We want you to engage. Your participation in class activities factors into your grades as well. And, distractions can happen. So that includes cell phone abuse, sleeping in class. So let's put the phones away. Let's keep the eyes open and really engage and ask questions in your classes. We still want to create a respectful environment as well. We want there to be a positive environment for everyone, an atmosphere that really dictates learning. So this means keeping language profanity free and absolutely a zero tolerance for any kind of sexual harassment. We're building a community of caring professionals. Now, Another part of the expectations is that your books, your homework, those kinds of things you are going to be responsible for. You're responsible for buying your books and keeping up with them, and also getting your homework assignments completed. And that is going to be your personal toolbox for success. And we'll talk a little bit later about how heavy homework is for your grade. So be respectful and productive. Respect your classmates' right to learn during lecture and lab. So let's keep side conversations to a minimum and save those hilarious stories and deep philosophical debates for break time. We also want you to try to stay on topic when you're in class. So when you're asking questions or making comments, let's try to keep them related to the day's lessons. It helps everyone stay focused and make sure we cover all important material. Now, speak up respectfully if you ever feel like your learning experience is being hindered, maybe by a classmate, is being a bit chatty, or you're just struggling with something. Please bring it to your instructor's attention, or if it's a peer issue, address it respectfully. We are all grown-ups here, and we are all here to learn. Another thing that we can talk about for your learning journey is that we have our very own classroom library, and it is full of treasures. We do rent out some of those resources and equipment. So we've got a fantastic collection of books that you can borrow and equipment, and it's kind of helpful to dive deeper into anatomy and specific massage techniques when you're learning about them in class. So just like any good library, please sign anything out that you borrow with an instructor or a director, and it helps us to keep track. Your responsibility for these things, these resources are valuable. So if you borrow a rental book or a piece of equipment, it's your responsibility to replace it if it gets lost or isn't returned, and make sure you treat them kindly. All right, so for weekly homework, we talked a little bit about it, that you should be prepared and know what your homework is. And yes, it is part of the deal. You have to do homework while you're in this program. It is designed to reinforce what you are learning, not to be a burden. So we do not give you a whole bunch of busy work. Your instructor will let you know exactly where to turn in your homework. Some instructors like for it to be turned into a folder or a hanging file, and some instructors actually do their homework assignments online. So pay attention to the instructions that your instructor has for homework assignments, and just make sure you stay on top of things, because at the beginning of each unit, we're going to give you a packet, and that clearly outlines when it's due, what's due, what you're going to be talking about for the week. So staying organized will be your superpower here, making sure that you know what's coming up, know what your assignments are going to be for the entire unit. We do have something called ABMP Exam Coach. You're going to hear about that a little bit later too, but this is also a graded homework assignment, and it's based on completion and not percentage. The goal for Exam Coach is to mimic questions that you might see on a state board test. So we start you from the very first week working on practicing those questions. So this is there to help you prepare for that future exam. And so even though it's a homework assignment, it's super important that you make sure that that is done every single week. And so really put in the effort. If you're just clicking through to get the completion, I'm not going to count it, because I can tell on the back end if you just click through or you actually took the time to try to answer those questions. We do have a late work turn-in policy. We understand that things happen. Late assignments are going to have a 10-point deduction each day that they're late. So you can still get credit for it if it's late, but there is going to be some deduction in points. And so we will accept late work up to 1 week after the original due date, and also at your instructor's discretion. So try to be on time, and it saves you points, and it saves you a lot of stress too. So speaking about homework and grades, let's look at our grading procedures and how we grade your assignments and your quizzes and things like that. So we're going to break down how your hard work translates into those grades because, of course, transparency is key, right? You want to know what counts and what doesn't count. So here's the breakdown of your grades. Homework is a solid 20% of your grade, so you want to make sure you're keeping up with those assignments. You also have a daily participation in your lecture and your lab, and that is 10% up. So showing up automatically gives you some points. Engaging and being present, it all pays off. Quizzes, you're going to have those weekly if you're in day class, bi-weekly if you're in night class, and those are going to be 20% of your grade. And so these are just really quick snapshots of, are you absorbing the material that you learned in this week? The finals are kind of the big ones. Those are worth 50% of your grade, and those are going to be at the end of each 7 to 12-week unit. So that's going to be where you're going to show off everything that you've really learned. You're going to go through all of the different sections in that unit, and we do have study guides that we have on the student lecture slides. So you have all the information that you need to study for those finals. So that's 50% of your grade. So a few important notes. If you are absent when they do a quiz, if you miss that, you'll need proper documentation like a doctor's note on the day you return to be able to make it up. There has to be some kind of documentation of what was going on for us to let you make up that test. If you don't have proper documentation, you're going to get a 0 for that test. Finals, if you miss a final, you have to test on the very next day that you attend classes. So be prepared if there's a final that you would have to take it the very next time we're in class. If you fail a final, we do give you a second chance. So you can retake it within 4 days, so that's a week of class time. And then we'll average your 2 scores together and then divide it by 2 to give you a new grade. It's kind of a good safety net just in case you just had a one-off and you had a hard time with that specific test. We do give you the opportunity to retake finals. We do not retake quizzes. Our grading scale, because of course who doesn't want to know where they stand, is for an A, it's a 90 to 100. To have a B, it's 80 to 89. For a C, it's anywhere between 70 to 79. If it's a D, it's going to be 60 to 69. And anything below 60, so 59 and below, that is considered an F or failing. So F also stands for focus. So if you're in that category, you need to start honing in and focusing. So we're all rooting for you guys to get A's and B's. Another thing for us is we are big believers in checking in and making sure that you're feeling supported in every aspect and every step of the way in your journey. And so that's where our touch points come in. So we try to do unit reviews after each unit. We'll try to have a one-on-one touch point meeting with yours truly, me, the program director. This is a chance to review your current grades, check your attendance, and discuss any questions or concerns that you might have. It is your personal coaching session. It's your time to ask questions and really look and see where you're at after your unit. To successfully pass at each class, you need a minimum of 60% and an overall GPA of 2.0. And we want you to finish really strong. So we want it to be above that average, obviously. Now, if you are a scholarship student, there are specific requirements for you that are above that minimum requirement for the school. So for scholarship students, you have to maintain an 80% in attendance and a solid grade average. So keep that in mind. If you fall below any of those standards, you can be put on academic probation. And so in some cases, you can even be withdrawn from the program if you are not willing to actively get into good standing. So we really don't want that to happen. And these touch points are designed to help us intervene and get you back on track if we feel that you're falling below. So there's always going to be kind of a fail-safe to kind of get you back on track. If you have any questions about tuition or scholarships or anything like that, I need you to direct those questions to our institutional director, so Angela. She would be the person to talk to about any kind of scholarship or financial stuff. We have a liaison, and you may have met with her if you're a scholarship student. Her name is Sheila, and she works mostly with the scholarships. We can put you in touch with her. So the next thing is you need to get ready to meet your new best friend when it comes to tracking your progress. And that is our student application, PolySchools. So PolySchools is what we use to track all of your attendance and grades and clinical bodies. So you have access to that at all times. So you'll get progress reports from there. They give you everyday access to all of your information. You can check your current attendance and see if you're missing any class hours, your grade average. You'll see the tests that you've taken, how many clinical hours you've completed. It's no surprises. It's just clear data at your fingertips. So you have access to that at all times. And we are updating that on a daily basis. So we really try to keep up with those things. So be proactive. If you have questions about your grades or your clinical bodies or things like that, attendance, it's super helpful that you regularly log into that system and check your status yourself. And if you spot something that may be incomplete or something that looks like off with your assignment or your grades or your time, bring that to your instructor's attention, because a little proactivity goes a long way in keeping you on track. Now, you may notice when you come into our office that we have a big whiteboard on the opposite wall from our desks. And this is more than just a big, overwhelming list of data. It's a fantastic way for us to view your progress here. So this board is mostly for the admin office, so it's only updated weekly or bi-weekly when we have the time to do so. So just remember that the best way to see where you stand is on your PolySchool account from the last slide. Now, on that board, though, kind of to demystify it, there's a weekly snapshot and a quick glance at your attendance, clinical hours, and those all-important teacher evaluations. So the name on the board is going to be, of course, your name, and then you're going to see either a green, purple, or blue number, and that is going to tell you how many clinical hours or clinical bodies you have completed. And remember, the goal is to get to 100. Now, the fraction next to that number represents the number of teacher evaluations that you have given. So you need to have 3 completed by the end of your program, but more feedback is always great. So you can do more than 3 teacher evaluations, but you at least have to have 3. So if the fraction says 1/3, that means you have done 1 teacher evaluation out of the 3 that you have to complete. If it says 0, you haven't done any. If it says 2, then you've only done 2, so on and so forth. And then finally, the little pink number that's out beside that indicates how much makeup time you still need to complete. It's a gentle nudge to kind of schedule those sessions to come in and make up time. So next time you're in the office, you can take a peek at the scoreboard. Again, if it's updated, at the very top of the board is going to tell when the last time it was updated or when the last date of update. All right, so this is where the magic happens. All right, in class lab. So we have to get ready to do hands-on and really feel the power of touch. So giving and receiving massage is not just important, it is required for really understanding the techniques and perfecting the skills. It's how you truly learn what good touch feels like and how to give good productive touch. So the activities are going to vary. We'll mix it up. We'll have a lot of different hands-on activities to keep things fresh and exciting, and it'll give you a really well-rounded experience and knowledge base. During lab times, there are no cell phones. They need to be put away. This is a dedicated learning and practice time, and we want you to be fully present, and we don't want to have to worry about any phone activity. Another thing is to bring your own sheets. Don't forget to bring a twin size sheet set to lay on during your lab time. So that sheet set is for you to lay on. And then we also offer you guys the ability to wash those sheets if you need to while you're here. So make sure you're bringing in your own sheets. You cannot use clinic sheets for lab time. You have to use your own sheets or you'll get the sheet of shame. I'm just kidding. So bring your own sheets. Respectful learning. Our lab is a professional environment, so please be respectful of your classmates. Keep the conversations that you have during lab focused on the task at hand. If you need to ask an instructor or a mentor a question, if you need to discuss body mechanics, or if something doesn't feel right, or if you're checking in with your clients about pressure or technique, you can do all of those things, but save the social chatter for break time. Now let's talk about looking the part. So our dress code is about professionalism, comfort, and safety as you learn and practice. So we prefer that you wear your school shirts that we provide for you in class every day, or a solid color top, and those kinds of things help us maintain that professional look. Now for bottoms, it needs to be professional in appearance. So this means no pajamas. I know they're comfy, but not quite the professional vibe that we're going for at massage therapy school. Shorts can be okay as long as they are a professional length, and your shirt should cover your cleavage and your midsection. So those are the rules. We are really, we want you to be comfortable in this environment. But if we notice that it's getting a little out of control, we will kind of rein that back in. Also, you need to be wearing closed-toed shoes. This is for safety reasons. It's a protocol that we have as massage therapists, especially in our hands-on environment. So it's required at all times. No Crocs, no sandals. We want to protect the feet from any stray massage oil or dropped equipment. All right, so this is a very hands-on, close contact profession. So personal hygiene is absolutely vital for everyone's comfort and professionalism. So things that we want to be mindful about. We want to be mindful of scents. So your personal hygiene and strong body scents. This extends to also perfumes and colognes, strong essential oils that you may wear, and some clients and classmates may be sensitive to certain scents. So even if you think, oh, it's a good smell, sometimes that can be overwhelming in a classroom of 15 to 20 people with everybody wearing good smelling stuff. So kind of keep it just clean and to a minimum. Of course, we want you to shower regularly. A fresh start to the day is truly appreciated in this line of work because we are going to be working on each other every day. Hair and nails, if you have long hair, you have to pull it back and up into a ponytail or, some kind of clip during clinic and lab hours. And for safety and professionalism and for client comfort, your nails should be trimmed short. You cannot wear acrylic nails. You can't have long or artificial nails because those things can snag, they can tear skin, they can be really uncomfortable, and they can scratch, and they can even harbor bacteria. So that's definitely a no-go in the field of massage therapy because we're working with people's skin. So another thing that we also have here, just in case you have any issues where you might need a little bit of extra, maybe you work out in the morning and you didn't shower or something like that, we do provide some body care products if you ever need a little refreshment by the end of the day. So that's located under the sinks in the bathroom. So we try to keep you covered in that area. So if you need those products, those are there. If you see that we are missing products, please let us know. So beyond the classroom walls, we love to get out into the community and share the power of massage. So we do a lot of events. And not only will this give you class time, but it will also give you clinic body time as well. So you get kind of a 2-for-1 when you do community events. So these events, if they are held during class time, are mandatory events. So if it's scheduled within our normal classroom hours, your participation is mandatory. And again, these are fantastic opportunities to practice your skills, to network, and represent the school. So it's really good for your learning experience. When you are out at events, you must be in NSMT school dress code and school attire. So your t-shirts and making sure that you have on solid color pants. This is only to make sure that we all kind of have a united front. So those are going to be required for any events or during clinic. Professional bottoms, like I said, some people just wear scrubs because they're the easiest, but you can wear shorts again as long as they're professional. Represent with pride. So these events are a chance to showcase what you're doing and how you're growing and your talents in this field. So always maintain a professional appearance. You never know who you're going to meet or what amazing connections you're going to make during these events. So student clinic is the next part of this journey, and that is one of the most exciting parts. This is where you'll bring everything that you've learned to life with real clients. So clinic orientation, don't worry, we're going to show you a full outline of what you're going to be doing and how you need to go about this. So we're not just going to throw you in the deep end. After you've completed about 120 hours of classroom work, then you'll have a dedicated clinic orientation. And then we'll go over all the nitty-gritty details, policies, procedures, to make sure you feel confident and prepared to get in there and work on people in the community. Now, how we schedule your clinic, you get to decide. Your schedule, your responsibility. So you're responsible for creating your own schedule for clinic. We provide a book for you to write down what days you want to be open and accessible for clinic. And this includes knowing yourself and knowing when and where you need to be there and how it aligns with any outside events. So this is great practice for your future career in scheduling. So total clinic bodies, we have to have 100 clinical bodies by the end of your 3 units. And it may sound like a lot, but you'll be amazed at how quickly you achieve this and how much your skill will grow from client number 1 to client number 100. So here's a general breakdown of what we want you to aim for. So in your first unit, again, the first half of your unit, you're going to be just doing school stuff and getting a feel for the techniques and the processes. So we aim for about 15 bodies in that first unit. Second unit, we're wanting to ramp it up to about 35 to 40 bodies during that unit. And then your third unit, anywhere between 40 to 45 bodies. So each massage is a learning opportunity, and you'll be a pro in no time. You'll never have an issue finding clients because we have wait lists of people that are ready to come in and be a client. So, that's never going to be a worry for you. So one thing about us is that we want to make sure we have a clean environment. We do have somebody that comes in once a week and does kind of a deep clean on everything. So we're not asking you to clean any toilets or anything like that. But having this many people in this building, it can get overwhelming. So we want to make sure that it's a team effort and that we're all contributing to keeping the school clean. So, we want to make sure that we keep up with cleaning supplies. We've got you covered. We always keep extra cleaning supplies underneath in the kitchen, sometimes on top of the refrigerator. Don't hesitate to grab what you need. If you see something that needs to be restocked, please feel free to restock it. I do the same thing. I'm not above this either. If I see something on the ground, I'm going to pick it up. If I see that there's, some grass in the hallway, I will go get the broom and I will sweep it up. Nobody in this building is above doing just the minimum to keep everything running smoothly. So night class is responsible for being on trash patrol. So they go and they gather all of the trash at night from all the different trash cans, and then they're going to set it by the back door. And so we don't want people walking in the dark to the trash dumpster at night. So we have them leave it by the back door. And then day class, your mission, should you choose to accept it, which you should, you're going to take that trash in the morning to the dumpster. So you're walking in the daylight. And, just making sure that everything is refilled and restocked. The night class also sweeps the floors so that you have nice, clean floors to come into in the morning. So we want to try to make sure that we reset for night class and that we're thinking about them just like they think about us coming in the morning. So we're all keeping an eye out for things that we can do to make the other class a little bit more easy. So also one thing that I want to mention is there is a checklist on the back of things that you can do to help in cleaning tasks. And then there's also an order form. If you see us running low on stock, Angela checks that list regularly, and she is here to make sure that we have everything we need to succeed. So if you see that we're running low on something, please just add that to the shopping list on the back. Laundry. It's the never-ending cycle. From here until forever, as a massage therapist, laundry will be the bane of your existence, okay? It's essential. We have to have it. We have to do it. So we have laundry facility in-house. We have a washer and dryer, and laundry has to be done on a daily and continuous basis. We go through a lot of sheets around here, and all students are required to help with laundry. You can have a folding party in the back. You can have somebody that's dedicated to switch out the laundry when it gets finished, but it's not a suggestion. It's a crucial part of keeping our school running smoothly and ensuring that we always have fresh, clean linens for our clinic, and that you have clean sheets for what you need. So please do your part and help out, even if you're just a folder. So there's clinic sheets and lab sheets. So our beautiful clinic sheets and blankets are only for clinic use, so you cannot use those. For in-class labs, you'll need to bring your own sheets and a blanket. If you're someone who tends to get chilly, you can also add a blanket on top of your sheets. This helps us manage our inventory more efficiently and make sure that we have everything that we need to provide for our clients later on. Folding instructions, there are a specific way that we want you to fold those sheets. So either an instructor or an upperclassmate may give you an example of how to fold those sheets. There is a method to this laundry madness. All right, next we're going to talk about administrative office hours. So if you ever need to chat with someone in admin, here is the best way to do it efficiently. So appointments for us are preferred to ensure that you get dedicated time and attention to what you need. So please feel free to set up an appointment. You'll have an email that has our appointment links on there with either the institutional director or me, the program director. You can also just send us an email and we'll send you a link to schedule. And we are usually here Monday through Fridays from 9 to 4. And sometimes it fluctuates. One of us will be here and one of us will not be here. But somebody is usually always here on one of those days. And then making sure that you address the right person. And we'll talk about the hierarchy a little bit later. But for day-to-day classroom issues, grades, attendance questions, your instructors are going to be your first kind of point of contact for that. Anything else related to clinic schedules or clinic questions, we have clinic supervisors, and those are the experts for clinic. And then for curriculum or enrollment, tuition, anything that your instructor can't resolve, program and institutional directors are going to be the people that you're going to want to talk to. And so we want to make sure that your question lands with the person that can help you the best. All right, so tuition payments. So briefly, there's only one person in this building that handles any kind of tuition in this building, and that is Angela. So any questions you have, don't ask your instructors, don't ask me. I don't do finances here. You're going to talk to Angela. Some of you will have individual plans, and everybody has something different going on because we have a lot of different ways to pay for school. So if you need to ask questions, have a meeting with the institutional director, Angela, and discuss and finalize your payment arrangements. We offer several different ways to pay. You can pay via credit card, cash, and a check. Those are all taken from Angela. So institutional director can set up your payment plans through our Poly School system too, and all the details will be explained in a meeting that you have with her. For the health, comfort, and safety of everyone here, we are a smoke-free facility. So distance matters. If you do smoke, please do so at least 50 feet away from our front and back entrances, and this includes e-cigarettes and vaping. We want to keep the air fresh inside here. Outside events, same policy applies if we're outside at an event representing the school. Clinic shift, please do not smoke in your clinic shirt before or during your clinic shift. It's about maintaining a professional image and ensuring a scent-free environment for your clients, because even if you can't smell it, they may be able to. All right, let's connect. You know, we all want to be online and we love staying in touch via social media these days. We do have Wi-Fi here in the building. Our Wi-Fi password is NSMT 2019, so feel free to connect to that when you're in here. We do have a student Facebook page and a school Facebook page, and we even have an alumni page too. We have an Instagram, NSMT official, and so feel free to interact with us on any of our social media, like our page. On the alumni Facebook page, we post job openings and give you resources for continuing education. So it's a really good way to still be a part of this school even after you leave. All right, personal property. Just a quick but important note on personal belongings. Keep track of your own personal items. Cell phones, keys, water bottles, books, backpacks, you name it. We're a busy school and it's easy for things to get misplaced. So don't wear your fancy jewelry in here or your diamond stud earrings or your diamond rings in class, because we have to take off our jewelry when we're doing hands-on activities. So it's best if you leave anything of value at home. No narcotics or paraphernalia, possession or distribution of any narcotics or drug paraphernalia is strictly prohibited on campus. No influence under drugs or alcohol. That will absolutely prevent you from participating in hands-on lab activities for safety reasons. And the school is not responsible for any losses, theft, or damage to personal property. So make sure your valuables are kept in a place where you want them to stay, and keep an eye on your things. We're all pretty trustworthy around here, but we can't trust everybody. In case of an emergency, we hope we never have to use this information, but it's vital that people know what to do in case of an emergency. So we do have an evacuation plan. If the building ever needs to be evacuated for any reason, please calmly proceed to the closest exit and wait instructions from staff. We'll guide you to that safe meeting point. There's only 2 entrances. There's one in the front and one in the back. It's a shotgun building. So whichever one you're closest to, you'll go to that exit and wait in the parking lot. So front door and back door. Take a moment when you're here to familiarize yourself with these exits, because your safety is our top priority. We want to make sure you're always feeling safe. Now, inclement weather, this can happen, especially in Nashville, because it's a little unpredictable. We had snow early this morning, and it was 60 degrees 2 days ago. So here's our plan for those wild weather days. So if we ever have to close due to inclement weather, you will be notified via email and or text message. So please make sure that your contact information is always up to date. Now, this is a contact hour program, which means any hours that we miss, even if it's due to weather, will need to be made up. So we have to figure out how to do that. One thing that we have done in the past is, depending on the instructor's availability and internet capabilities, we may offer live Zoom classes for credit hours during inclement weather. So that way you would still get your contact hours for that day and you wouldn't have to make them up. If that's not available, you'll have to make up those hours still. So keep an eye out on those announcements. You may get to learn from the comfort of your own couch. If we can't make it down, we'll try to do our best to make sure that education still happens. However, sometimes we may be able to make it in, but you don't feel safe traveling in the weather. Communication. If you communicate that to us and let us know that you don't feel comfortable coming in, you're still going to have to make up that time, but we are going to understand that. And you are still expected to make up any assignments that you have for that day as well, and make sure you're looking over what the class went over that day. All right, so who doesn't love a good holiday? We have quite a few holidays in our academic calendar. So if we have a holiday on a Monday, which a lot of holidays do kind of land there, or even during the week, if it's on a Thursday, the holiday. If a holiday falls on some kind of weekday, Monday through Thursday, you are required to come in to class on Friday. So if we miss a Monday, class is going to run Tuesday to Friday. If we miss a Thursday, we'll do Monday to Wednesday and then add that Friday on for that missing day. So we try to do that. Any other holidays that we have that are week-long holidays, like spring break, summer break, fall break, winter break, all of those breaks are built into the schedule. So you do not need to make up those days. Only on those Monday or one day off holidays will you have to add an extra day to your schedule. Sometimes an instructor might come in on one of those holidays to do a makeup class or to hold a clinic so you can get extra bodies or makeup time during that time. It doesn't happen every time and it doesn't happen the entire time, but they can do that. They can create some optional makeup days for you guys. So it's a fantastic opportunity to catch up on any missed time or even rack up some extra clinic bodies. It's totally up to you, but it's often a great chance to get ahead when they offer it. All right, so you're going to have questions, and we know that. And that's fantastic. We want you to ask us questions. It shows that you're engaged and that you're proactive and that you want to be here. But sometimes knowing who to ask can be a question in and of itself. So here's a simple chain of command for getting your questions answered efficiently. The first thing you're going to do is ask fellow students, okay? You're going to be jumping into a class that has already been in at least 1 or 2 units, so they know kind of how the thing runs, and they're mentors to you during that time. So, those classmates are going to be your friends in class. So they might have just had the same question and they've had it answered, and they can explain it in a way that might click for you. If they don't have the answer, the second step is ask your instructor. Your instructors are your primary guides in the classroom, and so they know. Most of our instructors have been here for years. So if you're not sure or if it's outside their specific area to talk about, then they may direct you to me. So I am your third contact. Usually it's emailing me a question if you have one, or if you see me in the hallway, you can absolutely ask me. I have kind of a broader view of the program and can provide answers to direct you to the right person. If I don't know the answer, I will absolutely find somebody that does know the answer. So make sure you email me, set up a meeting. If you do catch me in the hallway, remember my brain lives on the computer, so send a follow-up email. Last resort is going to be our institutional director, Angela. So for those really big overarching questions or anything specifically related to finance or admissions, she is the expert in that area. So following this hierarchy helps get your questions answered quickly and efficiently as possible. So a lot of people will say, well, I didn't want to bother you. And so I just went to Angela because she was right there. So I'm going to tell you this now. Go through me first and then go to Angela if it doesn't pertain to me, okay? Again, chaos coordinator, that's me. All right, and that, my friends, brings us to the end of orientation. Thank you so much for choosing Nashville School of Massage Therapy. We are truly excited to see you take this next step in your educational journey. You're about to learn what makes this field so unique, so powerful, and profoundly valued. You're not just learning techniques, you're cultivating compassion, you're building confidence, and you're preparing to make a real difference in people's lives. And we cannot wait to see all the amazing things that you're going to achieve. So get ready for an adventure and welcome to the NSMT family. See you in class.